Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this quick video I want to demonstrate how to start a MySQL container, how to capture the root password, and how to access MySQL within the container. Okay, so first let's start by showing that the Docker client and engine are running. So we'll run sudo docker version. As you can see, both the client and the engine are running, which is good. So the command we want to run is we want to run the command that's going to run the container, publish the port numbers that we want to open for the container itself and the host. We want to give it a name. We want to run it in detached mode so it runs in the background. And then we want to specify an environment variable that tells the container to create the root password when it's installing MySQL. And then we'll give it the name of the image that we want to pull. So to do that, we'll do sudo docker container run, then we'll do publish. And I believe MySQL runs on 3306, so we'll do 3306 for both the host and the container itself. Then we want to give it a name. I will name it MySQL. We want to run in detached mode, so it runs in the background. And this is very important here. We want to give it an environment variable. We can use -env or we can just do -e, whichever you prefer. And then the variable we want to run is MySQL underscore random password. Random root password equals to yes, and then the image we want to pull, which is MySQL. By not giving it a version number, it's just going to pull the latest, which I believe I already have in this system. So it's not going to pull it, it's going to find it already in the local host. So we'll run that. It creates the container, gives it an ID number, and we can show that by running docker container ls. Or we can do sudo docker ps, which is the old way of doing it. So as you can see, so the container is up and running. We gave it the name of MySQL, and then we gave it the environment name to create the root password. So MySQL takes a few minutes to start up, but let's see if we can capture that password right now. So we'll run sudo docker container logs, and then the name of the container. This is why it's useful to give it a name that you'll remember, because if you don't give it a name, then Docker will just use a generic name. So it's always easier to just give it a name and something that you'll remember. So again, sudo docker container logs, and then the container name. So as you can see, it's still starting up, so we'll give it a minute. So it's still taking a minute to come up. We'll wait a few more seconds. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it's right here. It's right here. Generate a root password, and this is what we want to capture. That right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is access the container itself. You don't normally do this, but since we're running a MySQL database now, I guess it's one of the few scenarios where you do actually want to access the container itself. So in order to do that, we want to run sudo docker exec-it, then the container name. Again, this is another good reason why it's useful to give a name to the container when you're starting them up. And then you want to bash prompt. Okay, so we're now actually inside the container. So now it's just as simple as running MySQL dash U for user, then the username, dash P to be prompted for the password, and now we're being prompted for the password. This is where we enter that password that we capture from the logs, and there you have it. So this was a quick video to show you how to start a MySQL container, how to create an environment variable to tell it to generate the root password, how to capture that password using the logs option, and then how to actually access the container itself. If you like the video, don't forget to sub and like, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Thank you.